YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today we are going to drink a beer that was sent to me by Steve O from not Vancouver, but from BC. I don't know why I do that all the time. I mean, I know my geography pretty damn good, especially Canadian geography. And whenever I'm talking about BC, I always say Vancouver first. It just, boom, Vancouver. I know there's Surrey, I know there's Whistler, I know there's a lot of other places in BC than just Vancouver. Victoria, there's a lot of them. But, for some reason, it's always Vancouver that I say. I don't know why, I can't figure it out, but whatever. We're drinking a beer that kind of confuses me in that it's a beer, the brewery is available here in Ontario. A lot of the brewery's beers are available here in Ontario. A lot of them are available only in 750. Some of them come in this smaller bottle, this 375 milliliter bottle, but not many. I've enjoyed a lot of what I've had from this brewery. I can't get this beer here. And the funny thing is, this beer would have had to pass through Ontario, either in the air or on a truck, to go to BC. And this beer had to go from Quebec to BC to get sent back to me here in Ontario. That's a strange thing about it's one of the mind-boggling things about the beer industry and the Canadian beer industry at that. It's just mind-boggling. Or like Buffalo, New York. I can go to Buffalo, New York and buy all the different Deux beers, and they actually cross the border on a truck in my town, but I can't get them. But this isn't a Deux beer. This is a Trois Mousquetaires beer. It's a Three Musketeers, boys. This is their Berliner Weiss. Oh yeah, Berliner. Now, I actually thought about going upstairs and getting some maple syrup. I have Aunt Jemima maple syrup, which is corn syrup, which is pretty close to what Woodruff syrup is, kind of like Woodruff syrup. But I also have like $40 a jug pure maple syrup, and I thought about going and getting it and doing the 3 glasses, doing a glass of just this, a glass of this with Woodruff syrup and with the corn syrup, and then a glass of this with the maple syrup. Because I mean, historically, you drink a Berliner Weiss through a straw with Woodruff syrup, and it's one of those beers where you really should buy a couple bottles of one when you find one, and do just that. Pour 2 glasses, 2 little things of it with nothing, and drink one through a straw and one just out of the glass. Pour another one, and with that one, put Woodruff syrup in it, and do some through a straw, some just from the glass, and then the last one, do whatever type of syrup in it you want. And again, do some through the glass and some through the straw. Because it really is one of those things where that straw, deciding where it's going in your mouth, actually really does make a big difference on the flavor. So this Berliner Weiss is 3%, so it is basically right in the ballpark of 1.5 to 4. I like beers that stay historical and talk about all the history and stay historically correct. You know, not like, hey, we were a beer for farmers. We were the Belgian farm workers beer. They were given this to hydrate and 8% alcohol. No, how about, this is a historic brand of beer, 3%. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Anyway, there's a look. Straw yellow. Thick. Lots of big white head. Smell. Not much smell-wise to it. My son just got home from school, if you're wondering what's happening. I thought I'd get this done before he walked in, so I do apologize for that. Yeah, not much at all, really. Just a little bit of wheat. And, I mean, a Berliner Weiss basically is a soured wheat. And all I'm really smelling is that dry wheatiness. Let's try it. Cheers. Oh my. This is basically their Goza. Even the ABV is basically the same. This is basically their Goza without salt. You get this neutral, dry wheatiness. after the neutral dry weediness, you get a nice tartness that fades back to a neutral dry weediness, and it stays with a little bit of tartness on the back of the palate. Yeah, it's I mean, it's not what I know mostly as a Berliner Weiss, but I'm doing a video anyway. Not exactly what I know personally as a Berliner Weiss, but a good beer nonetheless. And because it reminds me so much of the Goza, I really do like it, because I really liked the Goza. I actually think without the salt, this is a lot better. Again, I really think this is pretty much the Goza without the salt. And without that salt, a little bit of saltiness, this is actually a much better beer in my opinion. Medium to high carbonation, very light bodied, very, very subtle sourness, to the point where anyone could enjoy it, no matter what whether or not they're big into sours, they could enjoy it. Out of 10 on this, I'll give it an 8. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye. I gotta go see my son.